Okay, welcome back to an insanely perfect episode. We are going to do Stay Frosty. So I know there's been a couple of inverted episodes in a row, but hopefully that won't be the case for now on, because I'm just going to do them all without recording any commentary, and then I will just do post commentary because it just works out better that way, honestly. Then I can kind of talk through the level, and just when I'm playing, all I have to do is focus on playing. As the levels get harder, it just is easier to do that anyway. So, thankfully, this episode finishes off the snowy island, whatever this island is called. I don't remember. The 11th dimension, I think is what it is. No, maybe, I don't know. Anyway. That might not be right. That's probably not right. But I just really hate the ice. The ice physics in all the Crash games are just ridiculous. Like, your momentum, even if you're like not actually moving and you jump, your momentum like keeps going from the ice sliding. It's just ridiculous. So anyway, you want to go left there first because there's one box over there that you need to get, and it just saves you from backtracking if you go this way first. So just do the easy thing and get that first box there, and then just run back and come back this way, because you don't have to go back. Once you get there, you can just move forward. So this part's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to it. The only thing is, after you slow time going through this little gate here, you need to make sure you unslow it, because if you hit that exclamation point while your time's slowed, you'll be moving too fast and those boxes won't pop it. So just make sure you do that. Now we gotta get the... Oh no, we don't do that. Now we gotta get the butt clencher boxes. Just randomly out there. So I'm gonna talk in spots that I think it's necessary to talk, and if I don't talk, then I'm just not gonna talk, but... For the most part, I'll probably keep talking throughout. I had actually recorded a voiceover for these already last night, but it was super late and I was like really tired and I was yawning. And, I don't know, it didn't feel like a very good voiceover, so I just figured I'd redo it. One of the biggest annoyances in this level is definitely the icicles, so just always pay attention to those. If you get close enough to them, they'll fall, so just kind of inch your way towards them so that they fall down. You gotta do a double jump to get up here. It's a little tricky because of the ice, but... And a slide jump just doesn't... Unless you, like, cleared these icicles and these boxes, which the nitro would still be there, so unless you blew yourself up with the nitro and lost a mask, you could do a slide jump, but a crouch jump just works better, because a slide jump, if you try to do it without breaking those boxes, you'll slide down that whole ramp and it won't actually get you the height you need. Some more icicles, just be careful up here. Easy, I lost my masks because I had already died once. I'll usually cut out my bonus rounds if I fail on them, just because there's no sense watching me do it and die. But that part right there, you just gotta make sure you get below those steel boxes before they pop in. Bicycles. Now, up here is the hidden gem part, and you only have one chance to do this, and it's if you're going for the insanely perfect relic, because once you go across here, you can't get back across. So make sure when you jump here that you're holding X to get a high bounce off that box so you can double jump across, because once that box is broken, you cannot get back up there. It's not possible, so... The only way to do it would be to die and restart the checkpoint, but then you're not going to get insanely perfect, so just, you know, time your jump really well, because you only got one shot. Now these sharks, it depends. Sometimes you get there and the timing's weird. Like the sharks are always popping up when the platforms are there. So you just gotta, sometimes you just have to jump over the sharks. This part, you just gotta keep re-enabling your time and then just jump right over the end. It's a little tricky, but if you die, just give it a couple practice runs before you do a restart, just so that you know how to do it. So there's the insanely perfect first day Frosty, and we will move on to the next level. Which is bears repeating. Now, this level, I definitely had some struggles on it, but it wasn't, there's a gem path in this one, which is garbage, which I'll talk about that when we get there. But, honestly, and this has a bear, like the polar bear part at the end of it, but that I really didn't even have any trouble with. I think I had to retry like one time because I missed a box on that part, but the second time I got there, I got all the boxes. This part of the pain in the ass, I hate these fireboxes, and just the fact they're on ice here just makes it so much worse. So like I said before, when you're on ice, like even if you're not, it doesn't look like you're moving. If you're up against the box like that, it will, you technically are still moving according to the game's code. So if you were to spin right when you land on that, you're probably going to blow up because the game's going to think you're moving. So the TNT is going to blow up. So if you do a double jump when you're on ice and don't touch the analog stick at all, you will be completely stopped on the ice and you won't slide. So a good way to make sure you're not moving on ice is to do a double jump. There's the hidden gem. I had to look that up because I couldn't find it. Alright, so here is this yellow gem path. And this gem path, I swear to you, the devs for this game made this gem path and then they realized it was too hard. So instead of fixing it, they just put a mask back where we picked up the mask so that you had a mask at this point. Because like this first guy right here, you can get past him easy, like it's no problem. But these two, there was one time where I made it past them without getting hit, and it was just lots of it. So like I have no idea how you're supposed to do that part. In my opinion, I think they should have given you the Kapuna mask earlier so that you could slow time there. I feel like that makes sense. I don't know why they give it to you at the end where there's really no need to slow time. You can jump on those broken planks and jump off of them without slowing time. So I don't really know why it gives you the mask late there. I feel like it should have given it to you right in the middle after the first remote control guy, but I don't know. It's weird. I'm not a game developer, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But that bonus or that yellow gem path is just garbage. So this is, honestly, this is probably the hardest part of the level, aside from that stupid gem path. Because if you time this wrong, one of those platforms is going to bop you right on the head, and you're just going to fall to your death. So you just got to make sure, and they fall pretty quick, so don't rush this part. Make sure you know when they're going to fall. You should be able to make it through without a problem. Do it like that. So this is the last little bit of this level. There's a short little section up here. There's also the bonus round, bonus path.
Oh, how I've missed this!
So again, bonus round. These bonus rounds with time mask are really not that difficult. This, you just gotta keep slowing time whenever it wears off. And then you just gotta go back and make sure you get the last 3 boxes that are up top. I struggled here. For some reason, I couldn't get a slide to go off. It was weird. It happens sometimes. So then the next part is the polar bear part, which in reality really isn't that bad. I swear the polar bear parts in the Insane trilogy are so much worse. But this really isn't bad. You just gotta remember that the polar bear is very floaty, so for the boxes that you have to jump for, it's honestly better to jump late than early, because if you jump too early, you're just gonna like float over top of the box. Whereas if you jump late, you'll smash it from below, so that's my suggestion there. Jump late rather than early. And just kind of follow, like watch Cortex's like gun that he shoots, because where he shoots is where icicles are going to fall, so just pay attention to that, because otherwise you'll run into the icicles.
I'm having fun. Can you tell?
Oh, make sure you get the flashback tape there if you haven't gotten it already. And there's only a couple more boxes left, and then that's the end of the level. One more jump box here, and then 2 sets of 4. And that's it. So there is the bears repeating Insanely Perfect Relic. Wasn't that difficult. It really didn't take me that many tries. Again, I don't know how many exactly it was, but it really wasn't that many. So last we move on to Tana's timeline level, which has the later half of bears repeating, but obviously is different from the beginning, so we're going to do building bridges now. And her part really isn't that bad. It's probably one of the easier Tana levels, to be honest. There's a couple boxes you have to use your grappling hook for, so make sure you get those. There was one right there. This I was just trying to maximize my Wumpa fruits, so I was trying to smash all of them. And I usually would smash all of them, but I mess up her kick here, and I had already triggered TNT, so I was just like, whatever. But there's another box right there you gotta get with her hook, and then swing across. The hidden gem is right up here. You'll be able to see it at the top of the screen. So now here's where the kind of the hard parts of this level. It has these electrical panels that you gotta make sure you don't die on. So there's the hidden gem. Now this next part, it may feel like it's really impossible to get through it without taking a hit, but it is possible. And they do give you a mask anyways, so even if you do take a hit at the end, you'll still be fine. But I actually make it through this completely unscathed, which it definitely took me a couple attempts to get the timing down for it, but it is possible. And I don't know how you do this without triggering that TNT. I'm pretty sure that's impossible too. Like, you have to trigger that TNT. There's no way. You can't control her once she jumps off of that platform. So this part right here, there's a mask right there, and they give you that intentionally because it's pretty hard to get this down. You have to wait until like the perfect time to be able to do this without hitting anything. And that's pretty much how you do it. That's only like the second time I've ever done it without getting hit. Usually I take a hit and lose the mask, but it doesn't matter if you keep the mask or lose the mask, because once you switch to crash, you don't have it anyway. So don't feel bad if you get hit. The whole goal is to just get through it without dying. So you get through it without dying, then you're good. Doesn't matter. Now if you're going for a no-hit run, I guess you would call that fail. Now this bonus round is a little tricky, mostly this first part, because you have to time this so that you bounce off that and trigger the top crates, because You have to explode the top crates, believe it or not. There is no nitro explosion on this bonus pack. Now, I think it's a good idea to slow time here because I've clipped through that steel box there and it smashed me. I got lucky right there, but there has been a time where I've just tried to jump on it when it's full speed and I've just clipped through the block. So I would strongly suggest slowing time when you're jumping on that. Let's get these last 4 boxes. And then it's on to the polar bear part. Oh, a little yawn there, but that's alright. So this last polar bear part it's definitely a lot trickier than the normal bears repeating level, but it's really the same. There's just a bunch more boxes, but they're still all in like the general line, so it's not really anything to worry about. Like you'll see there's just a bunch of boxes just in a row like that, so you just have to follow the line. It's really pretty simple. It's pretty hard to miss them, honestly. The ones that are like easy to miss is like this one right up here, where you have to kind of swerve over there and then not hit the rock, and like that one. But like most of them, like the ones on the jumps, you don't even have to do anything. Just go off the jump. Don't jump or anything. You don't get them. Same with this. Don't jump. These are pretty basic. Just jump. Don't jump too early. This, you just jump. You do have to jump there, but it's not as hard as you would think it is, to be honest. At least I didn't have any trouble with these. And if you watch this video and you're interested in my other Crash Platinum playthroughs, you can go back and watch them. I've obviously like kind of learned and changed my editing style, so there's definitely some different editing styles in that, but you'll see that the levels where you have to do the rideable things, I like struggle with a lot. So anyway, that is going to be the building bridges N.Sanely perfect, and there will be another. I already have an inverted episode ready for after this one. That's also going to be all post-commentary voiceovers, just how I'm going to do it from now on. So stay tuned for that, and then there should be an N.Sanely perfect after that, and we should get back to alternating. So I'll see you then.